Okay, here we've got some definitions and examples of different types of sets when it comes to probability. So the first thing we're going to do is fold this all up and cut it the way we're supposed to, and then we'll fill it out. So we have different types of sets, and then we also have different types of events. Intersecting sets and disjoint sets, that has to do with what set the element is a part of. So an intersecting set, two or more sets are intersecting if they have common elements. So our example in here, the set of students that are in math class and the set of students in science class are intersecting sets because the two sets could have common elements. We can have a student that is both in math and also in science class. Disjoint sets is two or more sets are disjoint if they do not have any common elements. In our example here, the set of boys and the set of girls in the school are disjoint because the two sets do not have any common elements. You can only be in the boy set or the girl set. You can't be in both. And then we have independent and dependent events. And if you'll remember, we've had independent and dependent variables, and it's still kind of the same concept where independent means that nothing else can change it. Dependent means that something else happens to go along with it. So independent events are events for which the occurrence of one event has no impact on the occurrence of the other event. So in probability, that would be randomly selecting a student from two different classes. The events are independent because the selection of the first student does not impact the selection of the second student. So if we're pulling students from two different classes, the probability of selecting our first student won't change the probability of our second student. And then we have dependent events. And that's events for which the occurrence of one event has an impact on the occurrence of subsequent events. So the example would be if you randomly select two students from one class. The events are dependent because the selection of the first student, it will impact the probability of selecting the second student.